You guys need to check this creator out that posted that Feats Fable. Yes. I'm going to post it in the link in the description. A voice for unidentified missing kids who appear hiding in plain sight. Invisible dancer with OCD, ADHD, and I don't know, you guys.
Between jocks and troopers, yet full-time awkward 12-year-olds, who take to striking a pose and acting out from creative personas and selfies, who think they might be doing nothing that's significant but really you just might be saving the world in your not-so-super way, starting by changing the sphere of influence in your world one talent at a time. As you're just partaking in a supernal plan beyond yourselves, and that makes you supernaturals. My word of encouragement to you is titled, Boys Watching a Wildfire. I set myself on fire and people come to watch me burn. Or, light yourself on fire with passion and people will come from miles to watch you burn. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that because what the world wants is people who have come alive. Set yourself on fire. I've heard that 18th and 19th century revival speakers were successful because they would set themselves on fire and people would come to watch them burn. Not literally. They were so passionate about what they were doing that they drew people's attention. There is something magnetic about passionate people. Comte de Mirabeau said, none, but people of strong passion are capable of greatness. Find your passion. Pursue those things that stir something inside of you, not what brings you the most money. Greatness comes from passion. Look for what you have the most passionate about and you will find your greatness. Set yourself on fire and people will come to watch you burn. When you are doing what you love to do, no one has to motivate you. Often, we trade in our passion for the mundane, mediocre, and most secure. Stop. Set yourself on fire and people will come to watch you burn. Larry Crabb says, the core problem is not that we are too passionate about bad things, but that we are not passionate enough about good things. God has filled you with a passion. Maybe that passion has been suppressed. Maybe it is hidden deep in your soul, but it is still there. You just have to dig it out. The best part of my job is helping people dig out and discover their passions. Our godly passions can give us life. Tony Campolo says, the world is not so much sinful as is dead. Sometimes the loss of passion causes that death. We are still walking, talking, and breathing, but something inside of us has died. Set yourself on fire and people will come to watch you burn. Let's look at the word enthusiasm. The N of the word enthusiasm comes from the Greek word for en. Thus, and enthusiasm is a form of the Greek word theo. Theo is the Greek word for God. The word enthusiasm literally means God in you. If you are a follower of Jesus, then you are a walking bundle of enthusiasm. There is a spiritual passion that lives in and through you. Set yourself on fire and people will come to watch you burn. What is your passion? What gets you up in the morning? What creates so much enthusiasm inside of you that you have trouble sleeping? What has God put inside you that you cannot do it? Don't know? Here's how to find your spark or thing. Stephen was raised by a single mom. He enjoyed writing for fun, but nobody else seemed interested in his stories. He just jotted them down for himself. When he was 12, he entered an essay competition and won first place. With a surge of encouragement, Stephen started writing more, joined his school's newspaper team, served on student government, wrote every chance he got, shared his stories with anyone he could. That kid was Stephen King. The same Stephen King who has 59 published novels and whose books have sold more than 350 million copies. What was the spark? A seemingly random essay competition. Sometimes all it takes is something to spark a teen's interest and motivation. Here's to the spark. Pursue that. Go after that. Live a life of passion, because life is too short to passively wander along without a care in the world. Care. Be enthusiastic. Live life to the fullest. Follow God's passion for your life. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. In essentials, unity. In non-essentials, liberty. And, in all things, charity. Personal and social holiness. conference. Be present at our table, Lord. Set yourself on fire and people will come to watch you burn. Keep being your own superhero because all the superheroes that everyone is trying to be are taken by DC Comics and Marvel. Your friendly schoolmate VR Game Boy. Sergey K.A. Light Fire.
Alright, I want to show you something. So there's a book coming out, The Wirefire, and I looked up Wirefire. USC co-leading AI project to stop massive wildfires. The Wirefire cyber infrastructure is used to describe the research environments that support advanced data acquisition, data storage, data management, data integration. Hold on, damn it. I'm reading off something else first. Data mining, data visualization, and other computing and information processing services distributed over the internet beyond the scope of a single institution. I'm getting hot. This is so much. My brain's overloaded. Okay. Look up Wirefire. Or Wi-Fire. Wifire. It's really crazy. This kid has a hold on the this is what this Glitchy Dancer on YouTube. This kid has a hold on the most dangerous minds, but just toys with them before in any matter of time the heart is taken out. God, I need to write all this down. Hold on. Sargi, Abgust, is a shy, common 12-year-old teenager in the real world, but zestful in virtual reality, living under caretakers with his little brother in a Russian suburb orphanage. But he is also a very efficient undercover VR CIA agent. He is assigned by the CIA director with the support of his cyber security instructors in order to bring down a ring of cyber terrorists. These cyber terrorists are brilliant computer programmers in VR who has developed some sort of multiplayer games with the intention of mind-controlling gamers to do their dirty work. Oh, wow. However, the investors of the experiment intend to use this device as a powerful weapon, and it is set up to Wirefire, who is unknown to these creme de la cremes of cyberpunks, to bring the ring of cyber terrorist organizations down. That's what this Glitchy Dancer is. I'm just looking at something. There's a lot of videos. Alright, well, there's a lot to look at. One more second. That code is terrible, I'm sorry.
Casper's declassified reality product reviews.
happy birthday to me. Yes, today is my birthday, but I celebrate it alone and in a basement that has been converted into a bedroom, lit only by a single kerosene lantern. It's dark, as a matter of fact, so dark one wouldn't be able to see anything, which is another reason I'm doing ethereal product reviews as podcast. It's funny what people can do with special effects in visual design to give a feeling that someone is not alone and to give assurance that there is a presence in the room, as what you just heard was a song put to a video of a birthday party. But I'm not alone. Under a soft pool of light from the hanging lantern, all I can see as I sit in the darkness is, I bet you've guessed it, a Martian severed arm, third arm, laying limp right in front of you at an examining table. You want to sing happy birthday to me, little compadre? And it does just that in finger-tapping Morse code, while I can hear its still small voice translating the happy birthday song to me in my thoughts. You see, or hear, I'm not so alone, after all. Today I made 14. Wahoo. Yippee ki Hubbard Oidasi Feigl Mundungus. Oh, my train of thought is getting off course as this reminds me of the passage in 2 Timothy 4:6-18 about a painful time in Paul's life. He sat in a prison cell, knowing that death was coming. After
This is what's
devoting his
going on,
last
you guys,
years to teach
with these
others
kids.
and sharing Christ, he now was alone during his trial and imprisonment. Loneliness must have felt overwhelming, as I wouldn't wish that kind of solitary confinement on anyone,
Bullshit.
not even on my worst enemy. But he met the suffering with courage. What gave him the strength to endure? For the apostle, Christ's presence offered comfort and motivated him to persevere. He knew God was right there with him in the current moment, and he could also look back on previous situations when the Lord had clearly intervened. Years earlier, for instance, Paul has seen a vision telling him not to fear during a storm at sea. And though the ship ran aground, all of the men survived. Scope it out in Acts 27 verse 14-44. For those of us who know Jesus as Savior, or spectroactor possess an area more in third arm species, strength is readily available in His presence. Our Heavenly Father promises that He will never abandon His children, even when everyone else has walked away. If your situation leaves you feeling lonely, call to mind times when God was evident to you and unmistakably revealed His hand in your life, like I had to do with a video from my 6th birthday, as sometimes you have to go to that extent. Then read His Codex, the book of books, so the truth of God's presence can comfort and encourage you. As a believer, you are truly never alone. So I guess that makes 3 of us in here. Encourage in the lonely hour. Now bouncing out of that rabbit hole. Anyways, this episode isn't about my birthday but about chain letters of strange encounters that I caught from amongst the men in white coats.
Men in white coats?
Scientists and researchers. That conducts extraterrestrial intelligence forensic science, which is the application of science to extraterrestrials and civil laws, mainly on the extraterrestrial side, during extraterrestrial investigation, as governed by the legal standards of admissible evidence and extraterrestrial procedure, so it's classified. So keep the skeleton in the closet or I can get into some deep bone wash. And so, it all goes down like this. At Area 51, in a division of the Central Intelligence Agency that is headquartered in the southern portion of Nevada in the western United States, 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas. A Martian research laboratory that conducts extraterrestrial intelligence forensic science, which is the application of science to extraterrestrials and civil laws, mainly on the extraterrestrial side. Inside of this cold, damp, dry laboratory of Area 51 that has rows of fluorescent tube lamps on a ceiling that bounces light off of white walls to light the room with a glow that seems to be almost ethereal. In this open work floor space setting that prompts people to engage in conversations, researchers are organized into pods that require them to share equipment and supplies as a means to facilitate conversation and side chatter. All the while, everyone appears to have a stern face, but they are in a good mood. During this time, an extraterrestrial investigation takes place, as governed by the legal standards of admissible evidence and extraterrestrial procedure, where scientists and analysts are working closely with typographers,
I can't believe this isn't taken down.
and geographers to provide accurate, All source estimates of foreign intentions and capabilities to senior decision-makers as they are working hard to document a case known as Project Cyan that's a strange happening to actors on movie nights. It covers bizarre tales of unexplained paranormal events that appear to be making movie moments cause the hairs on the back of one's neck to stand on end, like it's the most chilling thing ever experienced. As this project gives birth to the Cyberpunk files, and unfold the eyewitness accounts of those who have reported an initiation to converge into a league that's known as the Acturpus. Therefore, Area 51 and CIA released declassified documents from the last World War that planet Earth will ever see, as we have been promised by these upper extremity Martians that tranquility follows with everything being made new. With that said, the CIA would like to inform the citizens of the world that the curtain is being lifted on the stage of the world of bright lights and strange creatures for the last World War, declassifying all the oldest secret records, as they are being filed in the U.S. government archives. And so, first chain letter of Acturpus encounters begins like this. October 13th, 2999. Agent J. Brown. Project Cyan, the Acturpus. Encounters. Area 51, Extraterrestrial Intelligence Forensic Science Division of the CIA. Las Vegas, Nevada 89117. On Friday the 13th of October 2999. Actress, Vivica A. Fox. Acturpus encounter. On Friday the 13th. The night was young. The moon was full. The light had gone black. I'm situated on the couch. There's no one in the house stirring, therefore it's just me with my cell phone in hand, text flixing. The popcorn's bagged next to a carton of candy that's between a can of pop. As I recall going to and fro the kitchen, bringing each into the TV room to scatter them about the coffee table, that caused me to reach left and right and consume each one, during the movie. So, yeah, there were spells and kernel droppings. Not to mention, between this, there was a brief distraction when my eyes had drawn away from the movie to search in the dark for my refreshments that caused me to miss certain parts. With this in mind, it made me wish I had a third arm to give me an extra hand. You know, like the aliens you'd be seeing in them monster movies. Anyways, now, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Suddenly, the DVD player powered off, and the TV flickered to white noise. Then and there, a beam of light shined through the window, and I was abducted within my blindness of sight. And thank God what happened next wasn't a black girl dying in this kind of horror movie experience, because when I awoke, I found myself laying across the couch, but with an arm extending out of my chest. Yet, strangely enough, I knew it was for holding my refreshments. Thus, I got what I've asked for. A third arm movie refreshments and actor script holder. Afterwards it led me into the kitchen, by way of hand gestures, where I sat at the kitchen table, as this third arm began to try to communicate with me through sign language and fingers that tapped out Morse code. At first I didn't understand, but then something clicked in me, and I guess it's because I was connected to it that I understood every word that was coming across to me. As the third arm told me that its name was Spectro and helped save our planet and the universe from a handful of invasions, but it couldn't do it alone. Therefore it had to hook up with the actors of the world who embody hope that would be versatile and connecting to the peace that their limbs bring. As this Martian third arm didn't have to say much more to convince me to join up with it, for I have already been literally joined up with it from the start of the movie. So I gave it a thumbs up, not knowing I had activated a proximity fuse that triggered the third arm to create a hand grenade in its hand. There and then I threw it as it went into the air, and out of an open window to explore in my neighbor's backyard. They didn't like me anyway. Nevertheless, thereafter Spectra, the third arm, advised me that the third arms of its kinds are actually armed weapons, which are triggered by hand commands that create artillery based on specific hand signals, and so I was cautioned to use discretion the next time I sign off with a hand signal, as I agreed to do so. Then, I asked Spectra, the third arm, if it could tell me how its species had originated, for me being curious to know. So, as Spectra began to tell me its story, I grabbed a pen and notepad to write invitations to all of the versatile actors who I thought might have been hooked up with the third own and hopes to assemble a creative, intellectual team for avenging the world, together. Testimony prepared by Agent J. Brown. Join me next time for another episode. Until we meet again, this has been another Declassified Case with Casper, signing off. Peace and shalom.
Wow. You guys need to check this stuff out. I'm going to post it. This makes me interested. Wow.